sports fans. We're back. Once again, the most provocative sports show in television land, the Armchair View. I'm Tony Jemison. I'm here with my man, Big Kev, Kevin Richardson. As we always do, Kev, we're going to talk about the NFL first, Week 7. We're almost a third of the way in, and almost halfway in. I take that back. And we're going to talk about some key games. The first game I want to talk about is the Redskins and the Bears. The Redskins win 45-41. They're still in the NFC East hunt. RG3, that's your man. You tell me. I'm going to let you talk about what he did last week. You tell me.
Well, RG3 looks good. He did a lot of running, more than usual.
He did.
He got that brace off his leg,
right.
So he looks well. They scored a lot of points.
Right.
But they also gave up too many points, too.
Their defense, Kevin. You know the defense wins championships. But RG3, 298 yards, 84 yards rushing. I'm pleased. I'm quite pleased.
Definitely.
And I think we might have been wrong when we said he should have taken off like Derrick Rose. I'm willing to admit I'm wrong. What about you?
Well, no, I'm not going to say that.
You said that.
You
You said it too.
I just thought he should just...
No,
I thought he should have played in the preseason.
Okay, I got you.
That way he would have been loosened up by season.
Good point.
Okay.
Now let's move a little further north. New England and the Jets. You know I'm upset. My Patriots lost.
You'll be all right.
But Geno Smith, the brother, once again, 4 comeback wins,
Yes.
Kev, as a rookie.
Yes.
I'm impressed. No, you wasn't impressed with him before.
I'm not going to say that,
Kev,
Don't even say that.
You wasn't impressed with that, brother.
A lot of people underestimated him.
Yeah, he's a good
A
quarterback.
lot of poise. He's a good quarterback. And he doesn't have any weapons, really.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Now, Gronkowski came back, had a big game. He shut up all his critics. But I think they need to trade for a veteran wide receiver because, once again, the young guys did not come through. Brady's pissed. You know Brady's percentage rate is that spoiled?
He's spoiled like a little kid.
Okay, all right, Kev. You know what? Every week you want to get personal with him. It's always personal. That's my man. I'm going to call him up. We need to have a talk. You need to have a talk with him.
Talk to your boy.
I'm going to talk to him. All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about your Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles stuck up the joint.
Yeah, they did. I'm going to admit that.
They stuck it up.
Foles wasn't even in the game.
17-3.
I don't know how his night was before the game.
I know.
It reflected. I was like, what are you doing?
Foles looked like a foil. Foles. But he looked bad. And it just goes to show, as you've been saying, all jokes aside, that Michael Vick is the man.
Yeah.
Foles is good to come in. You know, he's a backup, but he's not a starter. And if the Eagles want to go forward, they need Vick. Now, the Eagles are what, 3-4, Cap?
3-4.
But it's the NFC East, so they still have a chance to
Oh, no doubt.
do
We still
some
in
damage.
it. We're in it.
They have a chance. And I'm glad Vick is coming back because
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. All right. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Now, I'm about to say something that I never thought I would say. Joe Flacco is not the reason why the Ravens lost to the Steelers last week. Now, I'm going to let you talk. Because I know you probably disagree, but now I'm going to tell you
Well,
why.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give Pittsburgh credit.
Okay.
They're on a roll now.
Okay.
I said that was coming.
You said it.
I pretty much thought they were gonna beat Baltimore.
You did say that.
Baltimore has no running game. The offense is limited.
It's terrible.
And the problem is the line.
The offensive line. That was my point, Kev. They're running a blocking scheme that one could say is a zone coverage where they're trying to run to the outside, but they don't have the type of linemen that can do that. So now, and then Ray Rice, he's still hurting.
Yep.
So he can't cut to the outside. By the time the blockers get there, the defense is already set.
Right.
Kev, so you tell me, why don't they fire the offensive coordinator?
Not yet. I like Caldwell.
You like?
I like Caldwell.
So you saying it's not his fault?
It's not his fault.
Well, he's calling the plays.
What about the offensive line coach?
Okay, my bad, Kev. You're right. But they need to push the ball up the gut.
Right.
All right. Indianapolis and Denver. Peyton Manning comes back. Irsay made a whole bunch of comments. It looked like Irsay was right.
He was.
Because they had a scheme that shut down Peyton, even though they scored 31 points, but they shut him down.
Oh, they look good.
They look good.
They basically set the plan for every other team that's going to be playing Denver now.
They look good. But the Colts also lost their big-time wide receiver, and that's going to hurt them. But they shut Denver down, and once again, Denver has proven they cannot stop anybody. All right, that's the Armchair View, talking about the NFL. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Kev, we're going to talk about the grumbling at Grambling, turmoil in Tigerland, disarray at Grambling State. You're an HBCU man. I didn't go to HBCU, so maybe it's a different culture. I don't understand. But there's problems in Grambling. We need to figure out what's going on. Is it symptomatic of the HBCU altogether? What's the problem, Kev? I'm Tony Jemison, Kevin Richardson. The Armchair View. I'm Tony Jemison, Kevin Richardson. We're back, still talking football, but in another vein, we're going to talk about college football. And specifically, we're going to talk about black college football and the hot story that's been going on at Grambling University, or as I like to call it, reading this story, turmoil in Tigerland, grumbling at Grambling. Let me fill you in a little bit, just factual what's going on. A couple of weeks ago, the Grambling University Tiger football players decided they don't want to play anymore. They walked out of practice. They'd had a meeting the day before with the president of the university and other administrators, just talking about some issues that they had in regards to what's going on with the football program. Then they decided they were not going to practice, and then a week ago, they decided they were not going to board the bus to go play against Jackson State University. Kev, you're an HBCU man. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you know is going on with this situation and your feelings about it?
Well, the players walked out. They were kind of protesting what was going on with their coaches. Of course, Doug Williams was the coach earlier in the season.
Right.
And they just fired him for no reason. And, you know, players have a loyalty to their coaches, so they weren't understanding. Plus, you had other issues. Facilities weren't up to date. Guys getting staph infections.
Okay.
You know, I'm just going to say this: if you want to run a university, you need to have you got to please your students.
Now, Kev, I agree with you in terms of the health reasons, but you said Doug Williams got fired for no reason. Okay, Kev, I love Doug Williams. He led the Redskins to the Super Bowl, first black quarterback, all that kind of stuff. He came back to Grambling the first time. They were 52-18. Then when he came back the second time, they made it to the SWAC championship. But Kev, no reason. Last year, the Tigers were 1-12. This year, they fired him after they were 0-2 because, Kev, they got outscored 72-19. Now, I know players play games, but you know somebody's got to be a fall guy. So come on, Kev. Was it no reason, or are you just a Doug Williams sympathizer? Come on, talk to me.
Two things. He's a legend. Come on, 0-2, beginning of the season.
But Kev,
at least let him finish the season out.
But they were 1-12 last year.
Okay,
it's a continuation.
It'll get better. How you know? We don't even know what's going to happen.
I'm just saying, Kev. Come on, let's stop. I love Doug Williams, but come on. There comes a time when people gotta go. Maybe he's just no longer has it, Kev.
Well, I tell you what, they're regretting it now because they're paying him $250,000
now that I don't understand.
A year,
and they claim they don't have any money. The president said they don't have any money. So so then the players decide this week they're going to go back and play because they had a conference with Doug Williams. He told the players to go play, and they respect him, and I respect Doug Williams too. So they're going back and they're going to play. But Kev, they're still 0-8. It's still a mess down there. There isn't any money. I'm gonna tell you what they need to fix it. I'm going to tell you. Well, you tell me, what do you think they need to fix this situation?
Well, let me just say, at this point now, the morale is gone. Players are like, oh, well, you know, let's just ride the season out and finish it.
Okay. So I
don't know if it can be fixed, Tony.
Oh, yeah, it can be fixed. It can be fixed. And it's not an NFL coach. It's not an NFL legend. It's not the ghost of Eddie Robinson. I know one person that can fix it.
Ooh.
And she's in Washington, D.C. Olivia Pope. Because what's going on down there is scandal, brother. They need Harrison. They need Abby. They need Huck. She can fix this situation. Oh, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. They need the flyer there, and they won't even fly their own players. So I don't know. But Olivia Pope can fix the situation.
On the bus.
She can fix it. But Kev, all jokes aside, there's a bigger issue here, and you make some very good points. HBCU football in general, as you pointed out to me before we came on the air, the states are cutting education and they're cutting programs, and as you pointed out to me, black college football is not even getting the money to begin with. Tell the viewers what you told me, because you're a little bit more versed in this than me.
Well, HBCUs have been diluted in the past couple of years. Because before you had all your black players, good black players going to black colleges, because they weren't letting them in white colleges.
Right.
Once we had integration, as we talked about it before, they start going to the white schools. And I understand that you want to be on TV, getting more scholarships, you know, better facilities.
Right.
But that's the problem.
And you know what, Kev? I know we have a short time with this segment, but we're just going to mention a couple of these great players that played at HBCU. Jerry Weiss.
Jerry Rice.
Walter Payton. Right here in Baltimore, Morgan State, you got the great Raymond Chester, Leroy Kelly, Willie Lanier, Morgan State University football.
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers. Used to be one of the greatest programs in the history of football. Bullet Bob Hayes. We can go down the list. Great players. So HBCU football is great. We just need to do some fixing. And if we have more time, Kevin, you and I both, we could fix this program. We could fix it. But I'm telling you, since we don't have time, let's call Olivia Pope. Bring her down. She'll get it straight. She'll get it straight. Because she's what? A gladiator. That's what I'm talking about. The Armchair View will be back to talk about Week 8 in the NFL. Kev, the Armchair View. We're back. I'm Tony Jemison, Kevin Richardson. And Kev, we're Week 8, halfway through the season. Predictions for the week. Let's go through the list. Buffalo at New Orleans. What's your take there?
Taking the Saints.
Yeah, I think that'll be a
Drew
easy
Brees
one.
is going to go crazy on them.
Right. KC and Cleveland.
I'm taking KC. They're going to be going to 8-0.
Okay.
You know, this isn't the game they lose, but it's coming.
So you're saying they're going to lose?
Hey, at some point.
It's too early to say they might have a perfect season?
Too early. The thing is, they don't want to lose in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you. People saying they're going to have a perfect season, but that's just like a pitcher in the fourth inning and you're saying he's going to throw a no-hitter because
right.
you still got 5 innings to go. So I agree with you, and I think they're going to lose too. The Cowboys at Detroit, both 4-3. I think that should be a good game. I'm picking the Cowboys.
Yeah, same here, Cowboys.
On the road?
Pretty much.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. Miami and New England. Don't be biased, Kev. Be objective with your pick. Who's going to win that game?
Well, I'm going to take New England. I think it might be a little chilly up there. Miami, they don't play well in the cold weather.
They don't. And New England's kind of reeling a little bit from the loss last week, so I think that they're going to. The Giants at Philly. Michael Vick returns.
Mike's back, so I'm taking Philly.
I'm taking Philly, too. The Giants, I could see if they played a great game last week, but I can't see any momentum off of that game last month. That was a horrible game.
That was a horrible game.
That was a horrible game.
They were playing a high school team.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. San Fran to Jacksonville.
Oh, that's pretty much San Francisco. Jacksonville is like, I hope they win a game. I'll just put it that way.
49ers on a roll. Remember, after they had got beat by Seattle pretty handily, people were counting them out.
Yeah.
But they're on a roll. The offense is coming back strong, and I think that they're going to be there in the end. Will they go back to the Super Bowl?
That's hard to tell right now.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
We're only halfway through.
Yeah.
The Jets of Cincinnati. That should be a good one. Will Geno, my man from New York, even though he's not really from New York, but will he do it again?
I think he will. I think the Jets will win. And Cincinnati got a couple of players that are hurt.
They do. And Cincinnati. Pittsburgh wins tomorrow. They're right back in the hunt.
Right back in it. Right back in it.
And I think they're going to beat the Raiders.
I told you Big Ben was going to come back.
You Kev?
They got Heath back. He's back in it.
I got to shake your hand, brother, because they're back in it.
Yep.
They're back in it. Atlanta, Arizona, who really cares? But we have to make a prediction for the gamblers out there. I'm picking the Raiders. I'm picking Arizona. Who you picking?
Oh, same here. Yeah. They're going to shut down. Atlanta doesn't have anybody to throw to. Their offense is kind of weak this year.
Nothing. Now, Kev, this is my upset of the week. Is it yours too?
Mine too.
Washington at Denver.
People surprised. Don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised. Denver can't stop anybody. They showed last week, defenses showed how to play against Peyton Manning, and I think RG3 is going to have the best game of the season.
Yeah, they're going to show up. And Washington's defense, they're going to rattle Peyton early in the game.
Early in the game. And I think that you got RG running. You got Alfred Morris?
Morris.
Got him running. RG took the brace off his leg. Yeah. He's rolling, baby.
Yeah.
He's rolling. Look, we talked about Olivia Pope last segment. Denver's going to need somebody to fix it when they lose again because they're going to be 6-2.
They can't stop anybody.
Okay. Green Bay at Minnesota. What's going on?
Come on, man. Come on.
Minnesota
looked
come
terrible last week.
How many, Kev? Has Adrian Peterson had a 100-yard game yet?
Nah, man. I think he's frustrated, man.
I'm just saying. Well, maybe last year, I don't want to make allegations, but he came back pretty strong with that year last year. Maybe this year he's not taking certain substances. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I'm not going to say that about Peterson.
I don't want to disparage
he's a straight up guy.
Because I don't want to be like Brandel Chamblee, who was going to be sued by Tiger Woods for his comments. So, he's got money.
Yeah, you don't want to get sued.
No, I ain't got no money. We just starting out. I'm just saying. The Armchair View.
You can defend yourself.
Oh, I could, right, being a lawyer. But hey. All right. Seattle or St. Louis?
I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah,
pretty much. That's a no-brainer.
Me too. So, Kev, let's talk about a few things before we end this segment.
Okay.
Vick is coming back, but Will he be 100%?
I don't think it's 100%, but we need him.
Yeah.
You know, the offense is ineffective with anybody else. As you saw, the third-string quarterback, Brantley, came in last week.
Yeah.
He threw three interceptions.
And to be honest with you, Kev, as I like to point out, I use my wife in these segments. She could be quarterback against the Giants, and they'll win tomorrow. Because the Giants are horrible. They're terrible. I watch Ray Lewis talk about the Giants. You know, Ray Lewis, Ray tries to be. I watch him, and Ray tries to be very civil. But even he was dogging out the Giants.
But I'm going to say this, Tone.
Yeah.
The Giants will play better. They got their first win.
Yeah.
They're getting a little bit confident.
Yeah.
But they playing the Eagles, so
okay.
We're going to shut that down.
They're going to shut it down.
Yeah.
Kev, the Steelers, do you think they're going to wind up winning the AFC North?
Right now, they got a good chance. If they can knock off Cincinnati and beat Cleveland,
they got a good chance.
They got a real good chance of being back in.
Let me ask you this, Kev, because you are a football man. Why is there so much parity in the league? You see a lot of 4-3, 3-4s. Why is the league so, and is that good for football?
I think it's good for football, but on the other hand, teams are, first of all, we got a lot of injuries in the NFL.
Right.
Concussions,
right.
Broken legs, all that kind of stuff. So they got a lot of injuries going on.
Right.
And that's just part of the game right now. Okay. So that's where you get your parity. But at the end of the season, when guys come back, a lot of that'll be changing.
There it is, fans. Big Kevin Richardson, Tony Jemison, the Armchair View. Our predictions, you can take those to the bank. It's been another great week, fans, and we're just getting better and better. The Armchair View. I'm Tony Jemison.
Kevin Richardson.
We'll see you next week.